that God's blessings can flow from me to you.
So previously, Katt Williams had an interview with Shannon Sharpe, which went very viral, and he talked a lot about TD Jakes, P. Diddy, even Shannon Sharpe. Some of the things he said kind of came to pass. It almost felt like he is a little bit prophetic, which is very deep. And now he came with a even deeper something about giving and the secret on how he makes his wealth, or the secret on how he keeps his wealth, or the secret to the source of his wealth, whichever one you call it. I felt like this is deep. And what is even more mind-blowing is that he said something about that it's a contract with God. And this made me feel like, you know what? We need to see this video because we need to learn as well, okay? While you're at it, I would like you to subscribe, like, so that more people would see this video. Let's jump right into it.
Industry, right? Or these industries, like how you so generous in this type of cutthroat industry?
How do you maintain that same sort of like alpha level of being the number one, but also have that generosity? You know, you speak about all the comedians you bring on tour,
right?
A lot of very famous comedians will tell stories about how you've looked out for them and like have never looked for, you know, acknowledgement or praise, have done stuff in quiet to take care of folks. Like, there's that balance. How do you sort of maintain that, and why is that important to you?
Truthfully, I'm not that generous. I'm not a generous natured person, but I do enjoy following a contract, right? And so personally, I have a contract with God, and the part of the contract that God has to follow requires certain things in my life. And the requirement for me is to make sure that it is worldwide and globally known that if you, as one of God's people, interacts with me, that God's blessings can flow from me to you. And so it's not philanthropy. It's a necessity. If you show me $100, I don't see 100. I only see 90. 10 of that gotta go. You see what I'm saying? To his people, however that can happen quickest and in real life. And all I wanted was the ability to determine whether somebody is God's people or not. My job is to be as positive in interaction with any of God's people that I may come in contact with in whatever situation I'm in. That's part of my contract.
So in order to prove to you guys that this guy is not really lying, okay, he's actually practicing what he's preaching right here. I pulled some testimonies out of thousands of testimonies, you know, like a lot of testimonies on video about what he said that he is actually giving to people.
He gave people $100 and he threw his coat in the audience and walked off the stage.
Say what you want to say about Katt, but that boy a real one. 100.
Katt goes, hold on. Takes my driver around the back of his limo, right? I don't know what they talked about. I don't know how much money Katt gave that dude, but this was the whole conversation we came back. He goes, he's yours for the evening, Gary. Enjoy your night. But it's funny, too, because like when you had Katt on, I was like, Katt's very generous, too, to people. Katt did one of the coolest things anybody ever did for me in my career, just in the moment. I don't know how much Katt gave that driver. It's like, yeah, takes me back. I get up the next morning, he's still standing there. Wait, Mom, I said, how much money can I give this dude? He goes, yeah, Mr. Williams said take you to the airport. I was like, wow. To this day, I don't know how much money Katt gave that dude. Katt did one of the coolest things anybody ever did for me in my career.
And the biggest thing about Katt, man, that I'll say, just to put a button on the Katt Williams thing, what I love about Katt Williams, I don't know him personally, but I like how I hear other comedians talk about him. Other comedians talk about how Katt took me on the road, you know, Katt put money in my pocket. Like, to me, that's what I care about. I care about, you know, what are you doing with your position? You know, are you of service in that way?
Now, I'm not sure if he's trying to give to random people or if he's trying to give to the least of the people in the society. Like the other guy said something about his driver. Just like the Bible say, whatever you do to the least of my brethren, that you did unto me. Or if he's trying to pay his tithe, because he said he's giving 10% to people, not to the church. But let's go back to the interview, because I have something to say, okay?
What one of those moments is one of the ones that you're the most proud of?
I'm not proud of any of them.
It's just this is what I'm here to do.
If you go to McDonald's and something costs $2.75, are you proud that you gave them $3?
Hell no, I want my quarterback.
Right. So now, once you got the quarterback, right?
Yeah. Or 18 cents with tax, I don't know.
What you gonna do with that?
Right. So understand that where I rank spiritually, right? There aren't any more levels for me to attain other than the supreme level of happiness and contentment that I'm at. The only way that I can show the enemy that money does not affect me in any way is this generosity that you're talking about. The money can't move me, right? I move the money. You see, I can put the money here, and because I'm never in a loan situation, there's nothing for me to be proud of. These are God's people. This God's money. He makes sure I got it. Part of the reason he makes sure I got so much of it is because of what I do with it. This why the op hate me, because I'm a motivating factor and an asset to it. I come to bring, that's what I bring. And so it's an easy thing to do. My point in the McDonald's thing was, how you pay tax?
Yeah.
And you don't feel proud that you paid the tax. You just pay the tax.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. And you're excited to pay the tax because it comes along with everything else, right? Mm-hmm. So you see what I mean? Like,
yeah. Sometimes we don't like to accept the tax.
If I'm only putting the tithe amount into the universe, I want that number to get as big as it can be. I know exactly what it means if I give $1.5 million away. I know what that means I made. You see, I'm not looking at it the same way.
Yeah, this is very, very deep. I don't know if this guy is a Christian or if he is one of those people who say they are spiritual but they are not religious, or they are not, like, they don't go to church, right? But what he's saying here is very, very deep and spiritual. Yeah, I know what 10% of 1.5 million is 15 million, right? And this guy is making it sound like what he's getting is dependent on what he's giving. Like, subject, like what he gives means what he gets. And funny enough, he probably mentioned tithing, but most of the time he didn't make it seem like he's talking about tithing. But he keeps saying 10%, and he said it's like a contract with God, okay? And it makes me think about what is written in the Bible about giving. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessings that there will not be room enough to store it. Now, this guy said he's paying his tithes, right? But guess what? He's giving it to people. He's not taking it to church, right? And it brings a lot of arguments. What do you guys think? Do you think he's doing it right? Or do you think it should be given to people who need it and not the church? Or do you just do it randomly and, when you want to give it to the church or give it to people wherever you want? Now, listen to this one. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruit of all your crops. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over with new wine. Give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaking together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Right? Yeah, it goes on. And My most favorite one would be whatever you do to the least of my brethren, that you do unto me. Now it kind of brings a lot of confusion, right? I don't want to say confusion. It kind of brings a kind of argument, because I've seen a lot of arguments about this. Do you think we should give our 10% squarely to the church? Okay? Or do you think that this 10% are meant to be given to humans, whom I also know are temple of God as well? Let me know what you guys think, right? Because I myself have gone through series of arguments with people. I don't want to take sides now, but I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think God would rather us give it to people, especially these days that you see a lot of pastors having so much wealth, like more than they need, and people still bring in tithes, and they keep getting rich, and you still come to the congregation, you see a lot of people who need money, but people bypass those people and give the tithe to rich pastors. Do you think is right, or do we give our tithes to the poor, or do we try to look for churches who we think are struggling and give this money to, or decide to give the money randomly to whoever we feel we should give it to? Maybe church, next tomorrow you give to a human, another day you look for, whatever, but just make sure that 10% is leaving. Let me know what you guys think, okay? And I'll see you next time. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.